Course Creation Challenge, week number 3. We're going to be preparing for next week's GSD, where you will be actually building out your live course or your course live. And by the end of this month, you will have a course ready to sell. Are you excited? Well, hang on in as we wait for everybody to join us in the VIP room. And of course, we'll kick it off with our theme song, and I'll see you back here in 3.5 minutes.
You've been hiding in the shadows way too long. You always thought that you were weak, but babe, you're wrong. Yeah, you better step into the light, just give it a try. Think that it's time you let that spark out. You've been hiding in the shadows way too long. And who cares if you might mess it up? You're stronger than the others think. And who cares if you might mess it up? Go ahead and shine, darling. Go ahead and shine, my dear. 'Cause who cares if you might mess it up? Just shine. You shouldn't doubt yourself, 'cause you're a work of art. You should know that you are perfect with those flaws. Yeah, you better step into the light, just give it a try. Know that it's time you let that spark out. You've been hiding in the shadows way too long. And who cares if you might mess it up? You're stronger than the others think. And who cares if you might mess it up? Go ahead and shine, darling. Go ahead and shine, my dear. 'Cause who cares if you might mess it up? Just shine, shine, darling. Go ahead and shine, my dear. 'Cause who cares if you might mess it up? Just shine. You're stronger than the others think. And who cares if you might mess it up? Shine. Go ahead and shine, darling. Go ahead and shine, my dear. 'Cause who cares if you might mess it up? Just shine, shine, darling. Go ahead and shine, my dear. 'Cause who cares if you might mess it up? Just shine.
Welcome to the Course Creation Challenge. I'm so excited that you have made it to week number 3. Now, do you know that only 10% of people that register will actually make it to the end? And you're one of them. You're almost there. And let me know in the chat, did you do day or week 2's home play? Have you pulled out those beautiful Post-it notes and started sticking them everywhere? So let me just bring, hang on, we still need me on the screen. Let's make sure that doesn't happen. So throw them up in the chat so I can see who's actually done the doing. Who has? Now I see a few people are lost trying to get in as well. Now, if you are lost trying to find your way into the VIP room, go check your email. There was an email that went out about 15 minutes ago with your Zoom link. And if you're still stuck and you're a VIP or you're an elite, head to the VOZ and Sarah will give you the correct link to make it into the training. All right, so we've got a few people. Jackie says, hang on, I can't see the little things. Jackie says, got the post-its, but last week was a bit crazy. Hey, but at least you got some doing done. I love that. All right. Very clarifying, says Alison. And yes, she's done it, and it was heaps of fun. I do love the post-it note challenge, I have to say. It's really, really fun. And who started putting their post-it notes together and then thought, oh, there's more than one course here? Come on, let me know in the chat. This is really, really common, where you start putting it together and then you start moving them around and you start to see with much more clarity than you've ever seen before your actual course, right? And just being able to physically see it, like it rolling around in your head is very different to seeing it laid out in front of you. Now, till this week, I'm going to talk a lot about how you are going to actually sell this bad boy before you make it. How does that sound? Being able to sell it before you make it. Now, this is what I've done for pretty much every single course I have ever done. Now, back when I originally enrolled with Amy Porterfield in Course Creation, she was always teaching, build it first. And also because of her personality type, she likes to have everything looking real good, right, before she launches, where I'm somebody who just kind of do it, say yes, then figure out how. And for me, that works better. Now, I do challenge you, and she actually ended up changing her course structure on teaching people how to make courses when she saw so many people, like myself, successfully launching without a ready built course. And it's totally doable. What I want you to do is commit to teaching it live, right? You're going to teach it live. Now, here's why I believe that teaching it live is the best way to go about launching your course. So first, when you've got real people in the room with you, you tend to put your focus on serving them, right? You're teaching them. Where when I've got a camera pointing at me and I have to film a certain script, I tend to get all stuck up in my own head and I make lots of mistakes. But like any teacher, when you're standing in a room of students, you've got to talk, you've got to teach, right? And it becomes less about you and it becomes more about them. Now, this happens 9 o'clock in the morning. I swear, I need to drink like 50 gallons of water because I get the morning teeth, brush my teeth feeling in my, from my toothpaste every morning. It's a shocker. All right, I think I'm less now. All right, so the first one is it becomes more about them. Now, the other one is you've mapped out your course, right, with your post-it notes. You've got an idea of, remember, our major steps that we want with our little lessons to help them get over each of the major steps, which, of course, is your modules and your lessons. But that is your thought around what is the best way to help them. But here's the thing. When I've taught live, what I found is when I start teaching and I'm getting instant feedback from people, sometimes the order in which I thought the course should be created might shift slightly. And that's because when you've got real people that you're helping, this is one I did when I was doing it was a funnel building course. And what I planned in week 7, I realized really needs to be in week 3. And I would never have realized that if I had just taught it to a blank camera. It was through the engagement with the participants. So the second one is first it becomes about them. Second, you can actually shift if you need to, because it's not set in cement, right? It's written in sand. And the third awesomeness is that feedback that you get during the live event. That feedback, if you do it well, actually becomes testimonials, social proof, all the good things you need when you launch the next time. And you get to see the results of the people as they're going through. So I challenge you that what you're going to do is we're going to build the framework together at the end of next week. And then if you build the framework as a special little gift, we're actually going to give you a sales funnel. So you can go out there and start selling it before you make it. Now, there's a lot of people say you've got to do a lot of research to also validate your course. But what's the best way to validate a course than actually saying, here's this course I've created to help you solve one specific or a series of particular problems to get a certain outcome. And then people pay you because they want to go through the course. That's awesome validation. Now you know that people are, I digress, coffee has arrived. Thank you, honey. So the people have validated it for you by pulling out their credit card. Now it's showing you that people are willing to pay. So when you do the live recording, there's a particular way in which you're going to go about this. I'm going to break it down for you. So in your first live session that you do with them, it's all about community building. All right. So community is what's happening within the first week's live, which means you want to ensure that you're doing some breakout rooms, right? You're getting them to communicate with each other, find accountability buddies, as well as teaching the first module. So when we come in, and week 1's a little different from every other week because week 1 is more about getting to know you. So you'll kick off the session by just asking everybody, and this is a really great thing for your own message mining research, asking everyone who's attending, why did you sign up? Why did you join? Right? And go around the room and capture that on the recording. And for those who don't talk, ask them to still type it in the chat. And do make sure you take screenshots of that chat. Because what you're now doing is you're finding some messaging ideas for the future, right? Because remember, we're always growing, and like I say, I'm always doing message mining and actually focus at least once a year now. I used to do it more often, but at least once a year I do message mining. So at the start of the first week, get to know them and why they joined. So let me ask you in the room right now, get your tippy tap fingers out and come back to me and let me know when you saw this opportunity to join, the course creation challenge, why? What was your why that you clicked the button and said, yes, I'm in? Now, of course, your course people, if they're paying, pulling out that credit card is amazing validation. All right, so that's how we started to build, a little bit of community. Now, in regards to recording for your course, to be honest, it doesn't need to be like all of this with the lighting and all the things. If you go back to my earlier courses, which are still out there, you'll see a messy shed or me in my office with no wardrobe doors, because I want you to get over this perfectionism, because really it's the content that you're delivering that's of value to them, not what's in your background. Okay? So focus on that. So then you'll deliver whatever your first module is. Now, you can do this in parts, and I usually do it in 3 to 4 parts in the recording sessions. So what I'll do is I've done the intro, got to know you, maybe brought a few people up to talk, to kind of break the ice. And then I'll get into the first module lesson that I had mapped out. So remember, we don't do the introductions until we finish the end. We taught you that last week, right? That introduction, we'll come back and do that at the end of the module. But you'll teach and you will do it for sort of 5 to 15 minutes, all right? And you're going to break it down, each lesson, or maybe it's a lesson and an activity, into sections. And this is how you actually record, okay? Looking at me. So as we go to record the lesson, we do this. We stop, hold, and smile, and we count to 3 in our head. Nobody notices, right, that I actually purposely stopped and smiled. Well, like you did because I told you to notice. But find your hold spot, right, like this. Then you teach. So what happens is when we go to edit, we can see that 3-second, like no sound on the audio track. We know that must be a cut position, and then you've just got to find the right cut position to start, like where the recording starts. Now, don't be distracted by the audience while you're teaching, because remember, this is going into the course. Now, if you stuff up halfway through it, right, it's okay. If anyone's ever seen me do a live course creation, which they're out there on the internet, right, I'll say, hang on, there's a better way to explain that. And then I talk, right? I stop again, I hold and I smile. And I might go back a few words or a sentence and just redo it. Or if I teach something in the wrong order, I'll actually say, actually, guys, I was supposed to share this with you first. So I'm just going to digress just for a minute, okay? And I'll go back. I just want to share something with you. And then I'll teach, right? Because then I'm creating my course, but I'm giving myself those little cut spots when it comes time to edit. So it's okay if you mess up, all right? It doesn't matter. And then you will teach, right? So you'll teach, but after each segment of teaching, you'll do one of 2 things. You will give them something small to do and send them into an activity room together, especially in week 1, because you want to create community, okay? And usually when I send them into a breakout room, I'm also saying this is your accountability buddies, right? So that they can come together and help each other so that we can increase the success rate of people making it to the end. So I teach and then I engage. Now, the reason why I engage is also for that feedback. Checking, did they understand, right? Did that make sense? And it's okay to ask, because you may find that you just need to explain something a little different. If people were starting to get confused in the room, right? How much better is that than you make it by yourself and then you wonder why nobody's finishing, and then you find that there's something that you taught that was a bit confusing. What if you just find that out straight away and pivot and adjust the way in which you present the content? Now, trust yourself. You know this stuff. That's why you're teaching it. If you get asked questions, you'll know the answer. And if you don't, you just go, that's a really good question. I'm actually just going to get back to you on that one if you don't know the answer. So here we go, right? The why, teach, and then a bit of community. And then they'll come back, teach, right? And then a bit more community. And then at the end of the session, the final thing you will do is you will ask them for what was their aha moment in today and what did they like best. Now, these statements, these are your social proof. We can turn those into audiograms. We can turn them into like written posts with their little pictures, get permission, of course, right? And videos that we can put for social proof. So, and then what did they really learn? So this bit at the end of every single week, that allows you to start putting more goodness into your sales pages of things that they learned and what they were inspired by and the transformations that they've made. All right. So that's week 1, right? So we start all about community, the why, the lessons, more community, whether it's Q&A or an activity, and definitely at least send them once into a breakout room. Now, these live recording sessions, they could go for 1 to 2 hours. I generally, when I'm recording a course, I'll block out a full 2 hours because what I want to do is also allow time for the conversation outside of the education part. But after I've done the recording the first time, then next time I launch the course, people are watching the lessons before the live. And then the live part or the live portion, that actually just becomes office hours and Q&A time, accountability to help people actually get through. All right. So that's week 1. Week 2, a little different. So the thing that's different with week 2 is what we do at the beginning. So at the beginning, we're no longer needing to get to know people. We're just asking and following up how they went with whatever last week's project was. And I want you to get, again, direct feedback. So get people to raise their hands, speak to them, or type it in the chat so that you can capture that information. Again, it's great for your own knowledge of around what you're actually doing, okay, how you're teaching them and how you're helping. And again, social proof. There could be some amazing testimonials in there that we can pull out. And then you'll continue the same method. Teach with some community or activity, teach some community or an activity, and you'll do that for each of the lessons. And then again, you will end by going around the room and asking, what was your aha moment and what did you like best? All right, and that is how we teach live. Now, after the live, if you're editing, I highly recommend as soon as you finish the live, you block out a couple of hours to edit straight away, if possible, unless you've got something somewhere important to be. But try to get it done in the first 24 hours, but honestly, straight after will be your quickest bet. Why do you think that is? Eh? Why would you want to edit straight after the recording? Because you remember what you said, what you did, where you messed up. Now think about it, if you go back in a week's time, you've actually, yes, exactly, Alison. when you go back in a week's time, you're going to have to actually watch it again and remember. And if you had to move some lessons, like move this section in front of that one, you may not remember. So you've got to watch it. It takes probably 4 times longer to edit if you don't do it immediately. Now, that's different, of course, if you send it off to an editor, because the editor has just got to watch it. But if you're the one, and honestly, sometimes it's just quicker for me to do it than give it to a team member to edit, I'll just do it as quickly as I can straight after, because I just know where all the stop points are. So that is how to create your course live. Now, how are we going to start drawing attention? So what I want to talk to you about now is a commitment from you this week about live. So let me know in the chat, who actually goes live regularly? Let me know in the chat. Do you have a regular go live time every single week? There's heaps of you in here, so get your tippy tap fingers out. Who has a set time every week to go live? Come on. I see you all. You can't go hiding from me. All right, not online, but in a group setting. Okay. Semi-regularly at the moment, but I was doing it at 10 a.m. weekly last year. Not yet from Joanne, not yet from Karen, but planned for March. Okay. So here we are right now. If you're watching this live stream, this is actually Strategy with Sally. This is Tuesdays at 9 a.m. every single week. Every week. I've been doing this for years. To be honest, I cannot remember when the set time started. It used to be 8 a.m. Aha. But you may not have an audience yet, but think about what happens on a live. If people do find you, if you see posts from somebody or a carousel or a live video, how much know, like, and trust factor do you get from a live video versus somebody's quote or post online? People can see your passion for your subject matter when you go live, right? Because it's the stuff you know. Like, you don't need a lot of script or dot points to get that done. So here's my challenge, and this is part of your home play today. There's a couple of parts to it, but this is part 1. I want you to start to commit, and I want you to pick a day and a time. Now, you are your own employer, right? And if your employer told you you had to do this thing every week at the same time, what would you do? You would do it. So you are your employer. So I want you to get to the end of the day and be able to pat yourself on the back and go, oh, I would have totally hired me today because I did the things. And it's only one day a week, 15 minutes to half an hour. You just pick one thing to talk about. Now, the one thing to talk about, as well as sharing your story, and sometimes you'll be outside maybe and you'll let people see your dog or whatever, right? You'll also talk about and teach something from within your program. It could be a tiny little piece out of one whole lesson. And when you do these lives, you leave little gaps. And gaps are saying, hey, I am inside my program. I teach this in a 5-step framework. But today I'm going to share with you step 1. Now we've left a gap for the rest of the steps, and people then start getting a bit curious. What are all the others? Or you teach it and you go, and we go beyond that with this lesson in my program. So what we're doing is we're finding something small to teach, And then we're creating a gap between what you've taught them and the next step. Because in a 15-minute live or even a 5, you cannot teach everything in your program. So do not be scared to overshare, because there is no way to overshare in such a short amount of time. And also, if you end up teaching everything from inside your program over years on a live, guess what? Nobody knows how to put it together in the right order. They will actually still pay to cut a check for speed, for accountability, community, and that enhanced opportunity. So as you lock in, come on, think, you must know what is one. It doesn't matter if the time works for your audience, to be totally honest. Pick a time that works for you, because this is actually going to be part of your life if you truly want to show up and serve your people. And it's the best way. It's free to go live. And if you don't have an audience yet, as you do grow an audience and they find their way to your business page or your group, they're going to have goodness to sink their teeth into, to learn about what it is that you do. So let me know in the chat, can you commit to the same day and time every week to do a tiny live, a weekly live? Yes, Jackie Black, she's locked in for Thursdays at 10 o'clock. Now, I will say, all of our elite members, if you lock in your time, we will put it in a calendar so the rest of the community can choose to come and join and they can see your live. All right? Now, I see something from Alison where she says it's a bit tricky. I'm away. I will challenge that. Do you have a phone? Yes? Is it connected to the internet? Yes? Why can't you just hit the button and talk to people for 5 minutes at that time? You say to your family, hang on, I've just got my weekly live. I'll be back in 15. Schedules around your son, 5 to 10 minutes. Okay, I know you've got family stuff. I'll tell you, I went live after surgery at the time I was supposed to go live and said, I've just had surgery. Hi, I'm here because I said I would, but I got nothing. Have a great day. And then I was still live. Another time I was supposed to go live, I just had an argument with my husband. Right? And who wants to see the big eyes and the crying? And we had a fire on out the back because we had people coming over. And I went live and I shared the video of the flames, and I said, hi, who loves to stare at the flames and watch them dance? Does that help you with mindfulness? Let's take a minute together and do that. And that was it. I was done. I didn't even show my face. And I was talking about mindfulness. Now, if you wanted, you don't need to. Okay. Veronica's locking in for Wednesday. So pick a time. Let's pick a time. Yes, she's starting to look at her space and her schedule right now. It becomes part of your everyday. Like my team know, I'm live on a Tuesday at 9. Now, look, now I've got lots and lots and lots of content. There have been times where I have not been able to go live. Guess what I do? I schedule a live for replay. So I'm still streaming as a live, but it's a schedule. Yay, we've got some times coming in there. Yes. Now, the great thing with this is you're going to be able to start even practicing teaching some of the lessons that you will put in your course, right? Or here's another good one. If you do the live teaching for your course and then you're like, I really need to redo this one piece, guess what you do? you do it on your weekly live, and then you update your course. So there's so many benefits from going live every single week. Now, I started going live. That was my second course, I think, was about going live. I did actually remember my first was about taking photos of pretty nails the other day. My second course was teaching people to go live because I followed Shalene Johnson, and she was walking down the street going live on her phone while she's doing her morning walk. And she gave me the confidence to finally hit the button and go live. But it took me a long time for somebody who always used to be behind the camera to being the one in front of the camera. Oh my God, I was so scared. Took me a couple of weeks. I'd set the phone up in the spare bedroom. I'd go down, be thinking about what I would do. And then, oh no, I've got to clean the pantry. I've got to fold the washing. There was always an excuse until one day I finally hit the button. And geez, was I scared. And I could feel the sweat running down my back and literally into my butt crack, to be honest. I know, TMI. But that's how I was so scared. But I deleted it. So what I would like you to do is if you want to start practicing, do it inside of the Facebook GSD group because it is a non-judgmental, safe space to practice. Okay, if you want to practice, practice in there. But that's your first home play is to pick a day and time. Yes, I do that sometimes on Instagram, but when I'm out in the morning, but not regularly. So we want regular. You will start to plan. You'll start to plan ahead. Sometimes I have no plan and I just pull out one of my books, I flick through it and I stop on a page and go, that's what I'm teaching in 15 minutes time, if I haven't come up with an idea. Now, I did something a little bit more crazy though. So after I'd been going live for a little while, I started what was called the Live in 5, and it was a 5-day challenge to go live for 5 days. That went really well. So I did a 30-day live challenge, and I started helping people go live every day for 30 days. And I need to look up the year, but I think it might have been 17, maybe 17 or 18. And this was when there was that big shift between Periscope and Facebook. So I sort of started on Facebook, went to Periscope, back to Facebook, just because people were jumping between the two. We weren't sure where we were going to land. I mean, you know, in hindsight, of course, Facebook was going to win. But I went live for 365 days. Now, back then, I knew nobody that had done that. But I do pick something pretty big every year to like really dive into. And I just wanted to see what would happen. And what happened was my Facebook business page, because that's where I consistently went live, it went from 2,000 people who were following me based because of my network marketing business that I'd had previously, and 70,000 by the end of the 12 months. And that was just from every day going live. Now, I was not my best every day. Now, this was actually every day and it didn't have a time. There was one night I woke up, it was like 2 minutes to midnight. I was like, oh! And I snuck out to the kitchen. Hi, it's 2 minutes to midnight. I nearly forgot I just woke up. The rest of the family are asleep. I'm here. I hope you have good dreams. Good night. And that was it. I did it. I got it in before the end of the day. 365 days. But I truly believe this is what helped to build what I have now, was that consistency of every day somebody was looking for my daily live. Not everybody made it onto the live. So just something to consider. You don't have to go cray-cray like me and do a whole year. If you do, let me know. But to be honest, it was a lot of work. At the beginning, my family used to help me. Shay would come in and she would sit beside me and hold up product to help me sell product. And my husband, he started doing the Bush Barista. Every Sunday, I'd introduce him and he'd teach people something about coffee. So if you head to my Facebook page, you'll probably see a playlist for Danny every Sunday. That's back when he had the big beard before he started going grey. But he'd teach somebody something about coffee to help fill in the gaps. 6 months in, half the time they wouldn't help me all the time. The longer it got, they would remind me, have you done your daily live? But if I had picked up my phone, they would run. It's still, to this day, I think they get triggered. If I go to take a photo of them or a video, I'm not using it on social. So you'll probably notice they're very private people now. Funny thing is my husband's on a TV show, but he still doesn't really come on live with me. I guess because it's curated on the TV show, they edit out all the ums and ahs and, he gets to do a few takes. It's not live. So I've given you some ideas around live. I've kind of hopefully inspired you of the power of live and also inspired you when it comes to it, you're going to deliver your course live. So as well as preparing for next Friday, not this Friday, next Friday for the GSD, then I'll come to your Q&A in a moment, guys. Okay, definitely. So as well as, where was I? I was getting ready for Friday. What you will need to have ready for next Friday, the 28th, for our GSD, where we'll be building your course inside of OmniSAM software. We're going to give you a free trial of the software. So if you're not using it, you can still build with us so that you can have that experience of what it actually looks like and feels like inside of it. And if you choose another piece of software later, you will have, there's a lot of similarities between most course building software. But my goal is you build this, we give you a sales page and you start selling it. Okay. And it will start at 6 a.m. Melbourne time and it'll go for 6 hours. So it depends on where you are in the world. You'll have to figure that out. Smart people Google. There is a registration page so we know who's coming because we need to ensure that your software's set up and ready to go. Like I said, it's free to use, but we need to also make sure that it's set up. So if you head to omnisam.com.au/GSD, which stands for GSD. omnisam.com.au/GSD. Get registered. That way my team can check that you've got everything ready for next Friday. Now, next Friday, we will be helping you. We've got Canva, templates, documents, like click by click. There's so many things that you'll get done in that 6 hours that if you try to do that alone might take you months. So home play 1 is commit to your weekly live. Home play 2, get registered for GSD. And the third thing is I want you to create a welcome video for your course. Now, there's going to be nothing in there, but when they buy, the welcome video will be in there so that you can welcome them and let them know that they're very special because they're part of a live course build, which means they're going to get more personal time with you than any other participant in the future because you're going to be giving them the opportunity to give feedback along the way. And another incentive for these people will be, a reduced price. So I usually make it less than half price, like really small buy-in. And in return for that, what they also get is, what they also give is feedback and testimonials at the end. But you have to be very diligent and collect them because I can tell you chasing that feedback, it will not always be great. So if you can incorporate, like I taught you in the live lessons, getting that feedback along the way, that will save the chasing at the end, trying to get people's testimonials. And that importance of that first day, remember I asked you to ask them why they joined? You know, what are they hoping to get out of it? We can then reference that at the end to see if we hit the mark. Did we deliver on the promise that we gave them? All right, so that welcome video is actually going to go into your course. So when they buy, they'll see it. So it will, this is a bit of a script overview. You will congratulate them and welcome them to the course. So let's write this down. Let me see if my iPad's working. It is not. Let me try, see if my NDI is still on. 1 second. Why is NDI not on? iPad, that's what I've chosen. Let's choose something else. Video pencil, well that's, okay. We're just going to use that one, even though it's not the one I want. It'll do. All right. So the first thing is welcome and congratulate. All right. The second thing is you will say that this is a live course build, which means every week you will be going live and teaching the lesson. And then after you go live and you teach the lesson, there will be Q&A time, right? So that is, and like coaching time. And you really want to be there live because you'll miss out if you don't. So you want to tell them that. And that they're special because no other student coming through the program will get this amount of one-on-one attention like you do during a live course build. Right. The third thing is you will tell them the time and the date it starts. So what I want you to look at is if you're going to start selling this, what is the date that you will start to teach it live? Let's lock it down. So if, for example, we're building the course in February, you could be filling the course, so focusing in on marketing through March, with at the end of March or early April, you will start recording of the course live with the students. That way, you can spend some time trying to fill it and doing outreach and networking. And here's a little hot tip, guys. All through March, we're focusing on list growth. Okay? Then you will tell them that you are going to add videos as they are recorded, right? So you're going to tell them about the fourth, the content will be added weekly, right? So you'll be adding more and more content for them to go through. The fifth, do you have any friends you would like to invite to the course? And even better, give them a percentage rate of the sale if they invite any friends. So if you were to give them 30% of the sale, they've only got to tell 3 people and their program is free, almost, or 10% left. Okay? And then finally, close number 6 with a call to action, and it'll be something like find an accountability buddy or post your why in the community. What you want to do here is you want to push them to the community where they'll communicate and stay up to date and help each other. So you can build a community in OmniSAM, or you can have it on Facebook. We actually do most of the bigger events on Facebook because of social proof, right? We can get more people in there and they see the size of the group. You know, I've got lots of Facebook groups from 50 people to hundreds of thousands of people in groups that I've made over the years, right? But put them into a group of some sort. That's it. Now, on the course creation GSD workshop day, I'm actually going to give you other scripts, other lessons that you can record for people to go through after they join. But this is just for this week. I don't want to overwhelm you because I really have got you, I've got to get you to focus on what you need to get ready for Friday the 28th or Thursday the 27th, depends on where you are in the world. All right, so here's what you need to ensure you have ready for the GSD workshop. So one, let's have this video ready. So it's that's the only thing they get when they jump in. But the thing with this video, right, is it'll change later. You'll constantly update the welcome video every time you bring in a new round of students. Maybe you've changed the framework. And then there's a few other video types that I'll share with you on the 28th that you're going to make. All right, now, what we need to ensure that you have ready for the GSD. So the first thing we need you to have ready is you need to have OmniSAM. Okay, now OmniSAM, we're giving you it for free for 14 days if you don't have it, so you can register and still attend the event. And like I said, regardless of whether or not you stay with OmniSAM, the experience of what you do in the software, it's very similar in any type of software. Okay, so that's the first thing you need to have done. The second thing you need to have ready is your module names. Okay, I don't need the lesson plans. Okay, you don't need to write all of this now, but I do need the module names. Now remember, the names are the major steps, right? Or the problem that you solve, the hurdle that you make them jump over. This actually, each of your step names, that is your signature method. So we have steps for the Freedom Funnel formula, which is the method I teach for building a coaching, consulting, service-based business. But what are yours? What are the major steps? And then the third thing, the lesson names. Okay, so what are the lesson names under each of the module? Now remember the first lesson is the intro. Then you've got the other lesson names, and the last lesson is what's next. Right, so in the what's next, it's always, this is what we've covered. Congratulations for achieving this. And now the next thing is, and then it's, I'll tell you more on when we do the lesson on the GSD. But what next is telling them what they've achieved and if there's any next steps, and then anything they need to continue to do to ensure that whatever that major module was achieving is consistent, right? It might be, you know, make sure you journal every day. And now I'll meet you in the next module. All right, that's it. We need you to have OmniSAM. We need you to have your module names and your lesson names. So if you're looking for ideas on how to name your lessons and your modules, let me give you some little tips here. So, excuse me. So if you're thinking about your modules, right, I want you to think, what are they going to achieve when they do the module, right? What is the major theme, or what is the major milestone that you're trying to get them over? And we're aiming for between sort of 3 to 8, depends on what type of course. And we went through that last week. So some inspiration could be things like you start with, actually I've got some frameworks here. So it could be like a goal, all right? So in the name, it could be the goal that they're going to achieve. Or it could just be the topic that you're going to teach on. Or it could be the skill that they're going to learn. Or it could be from the struggle, so what is the actual struggle, to the success. Okay, so when you're thinking of the names, consider that for the modules. And then in the lesson names, you can say, like, what are they going to learn? So the lessons could be like how to eat for energy and focus, how to fix your sleep in 7 days. Or it could be the technique, right? So what are you teaching them? So it could be breathwork 101, breathwork techniques to stay calm. All right. So it needs to represent what the lesson is about. It makes it so much easier. So for example, we have See It is our first module name, which means your vision. Next is Create It, which is your offer. Then Build It, which is your funnel, your technology. Then Message and Market It. So marketing. Sell It is the next one. Deliver It, which is do it live first, and then Evergreen It. They're our module names. So keep it super simple. And remember, nothing is written in cement. We can change it. So once you have your lesson locked down, remember we're choosing one. There is no changing. Whatever you chose back on week 1, there is no changing. And I just need you to lock in those names so we can build it together. All right, and then come up with the name of your course as well. Now, the name of your course could be as simple as telling them what the result is. So if we go back to, it could be mastering whatever the topic is. Or if it's the skill-based one, the ultimate guide to what is the skill? Freelancing, sales funnels, right? Breath work, mindfulness. Or how to achieve the goal, how to build a 6-figure business using online courses. Or you could use the step, which would be like 5 steps to whatever the result is. And the sort of the before and after, or struggle to success, could be like from beginner to expert, or from a novice to a pro website designer. Okay, so there's lots of ideas for you. Guess who else is great at helping with naming? Chloe. Have a chat with Chloe. She loves copywriting. She will help you come up with, if you tell her what you want to do, she will help you create your names, your module names, your lessons. Just educate her. Start a new chat. If you've used Chloe for, and I recommend you have Chloe's for different things. Don't put all of your conversations with Chloe in the one thing. Have one Chloe for sales pages for your offer. Have one Chloe for your email, right? Which is one that we've taught. One Chloe for website page building, which is the one we taught you how to use Chloe in List Growth Made Easy. And one Chloe for helping you come up with naming ideas for your modules and lessons. I remember the day when there was no Chloe and we had to come up with all of this ourselves. We had to look for power words and Google this and Google that. Not anymore, right? So just to recap, I'm going to do a share screen now. Hopefully I've got the right page open. This one. Nope, not that one. Not that one. Let's just find the thing. It is probably, where is it? Share screen. Let's try that one. Oh, yeah, that one's like the vortex. All right, let me fix the vortex and I'll be able to bring the right one up for you. Here we go. Let's fix the vortex to, come on, vortex. No, the vortex is not the good one. And that's Zoom. And that's share screen. I did have this set up this morning, so I had, oh, they're not working either. Wheel of names. Let's see if that one does it. This will work. All right. Here we go. That's the window I need. There we go. Okay. So you will all now have access to the replay hub. I totally set this theme this morning. I don't know why it's not there now. Yeah, this one. This was the scene. I should have just pushed that button. All right. So here we are. So last week, if we scroll through each of the weeks, you'll see that week 1, it was brain dump, the dump it week. Week 2 was all about mapping out your course on Post-it notes. And now week 3 is about choosing your go live day and registering for the GSD. And in preparation for the GSD, you want to have your OmniSAM account set up. We're going to help you set up domains, all the things, emails, everything before the event. Second, make sure your lessons and your modules are ready. Just the names, because we're going to give you everything else. All right? And then we've got next week, we're going to recap. We're going to catch you all back here. I will still be doing my normal Tuesday live, but the final session, that is going to be 6 hours, and you will walk away with a course. And if you complete it, we're going to give you a sales funnel and help you put the copy on it. All right? So is that an incentive enough to get you going? Yes? All right. So regardless of whether you've joined me live or you're on the replay, below this video, wherever you're watching it, I want you to put what is your biggest aha key takeaway. Do the comment. But do make sure you do your home play and submit, because we'll be doing some prizes by the end of the month as well, some prize draws. Alrighty then. So before we head out and go back to the VOZ, I'd love to bring up a few of you, and let me find my little window over here for Zoom. And let's get some key takeaways from all of these beautiful humans sitting in the room here with me right now. Which button? I think it's this one. All right, first person, raise your hand if you want to come up and share, because I'll pick you first. Otherwise, you know me, I call you anyway. All right, I am going to call up Jenny. Oh, yes, Jenny's already in the window, so that makes it easy. Jenny, come on up. What's the key takeaway for you?
It didn't work. There we go. That's better. I think you can hear me now.
I can.
Key takeaway. Oh, I didn't know there was going to be a GSD day, so finding out about that is good, and I'll definitely be coming to that.
Yeah, great. All right. Yep.
Okay.
Okay. I was just waiting to see if there was something else coming. All right. Next up, let's bring up Karen. Karen, what's the key takeaway from today? I saw you taking lots of notes. So what's the key takeaway?
Yes, I've got all my notes. The key takeaway is definitely, I think that you said focus. Keep focused, and that is what we're doing. So what I have done is I've written down, I want to practice and get my video ready. I've got that. That's one of the things you put that out very clearly for us to do. And then that's, I think the model name, one of the keywords and things you said was don't change it. What you put down in week 1 is what we're going to be doing. Because I had thought about a change, but you're right. I'm going to stick with week 1's thought because it was there for a reason. So I think that's one of the things is just keep focused and stick to what I've set on.
I love that because so many people just keep changing and then never get it done. I mean, I've spoken to some clients like years. They've been wanting to, but they keep changing their mind. But it's going to be different in 12 months' time, no matter what you do this week. I can promise you, not a single one of your programs will look the same in 12 months' time. It's just the nature of the beast. Alison, come on up. What's your key takeaway from today? Hang on, I've got to find the right screen.
I knew you were going to pick on me, Sally.
Always got to bring you up.
I just love the explanation that you gave about the first week of the course. So there's a couple of things there. One is about building the community and how to actually do that, like with the breakout rooms and the communication and splitting the lessons up. I love that you split the lessons up between 5 to 15 minutes, and then you have some engagement with the participants on the course. And the other thing I was going to say has just flipped out of my mind. Forcing me to do a live on a Monday morning. Thank you. I will do it. It's been on my list of things to do, but you know, life keeps getting in the way and I keep being naughty and allowing it. So that's really cool. Oh, the other really thing I loved was about the fact, and I've heard this before, but I don't know, it just cemented today for me, I guess, and that was to literally go into OmniSAM, build the course skeleton, I suppose, in OmniSAM, then sell it and market it without, and I've known this, right? This is without actually having to physically have everything together, and then do the live course, which is when we can actually start really fleshing out what the course is going to look like, and then taking the time after you've done that live segment to actually edit the course. And then it's ready. It's basically ready to just keep selling. I mean, amazing. Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. There's quite a few people in here, but not everyone has cameras on, so I won't pick on you if there's a reason your camera's off. Joanne, what was the key takeaway for you?
My computer can't halfway through. Oh,
well, from the little bit that you heard.
I like the whole step by step in terms of practicing in Facebook group and getting it out live. I tentatively picked Tuesdays at 2:30, which hopefully that will work. Not tomorrow, but next week. And I like Sally. I especially like week 1, you're doing this. Week 2, you're doing this. That was really, you know me, that works for me.
I love that. I love that. Now, I know there were questions that were thrown up in the chat. Did my team happen to note the questions, or am I scrolling back? Let's have a look here. What about, who else can I see? Jacinta's in the background. Jacinta, key takeaways for you while I also scroll the chat. Where is she? There she is.
Hey, everybody.
Hey.
Yeah, takeaways from me. Yeah, I was literally the same. I've been away on holiday, so the fact that there's another GSD is really great. The fact that you can do your courses, like I haven't done courses, so it's like super daunting. And the fact that I missed out on, you know, week 1 and 2, I'll jump back into, you know, the recording so I can see that. So I don't feel too lost, because I always love those recordings. But yeah, just getting on top of it, and you make it really simple. It's just sort of like step by step. So I'm super excited about GSD when it comes up. But yeah, that's me.
Yay!
Thanks,
Awesome. All right, guys. Well, we're going to go dark now because I'm just going to quickly go just through these. So we've got the whys. So Alison's having an online course has been on my list to do for over 5 years. Yes, 5 years. You're going to get it done. I can't wait. Karen's why is I wanted to join because of the course creation challenge. I've been working F2F, but getting more requests for online webinars. I was interested in the system processes that allow me the opportunity to launch your own course with an improved opportunity for outcomes. Passive income, exactly. You know, the cool thing about a course, when it's done and then, you know, you've got to spend time, I truly believe, to make sure that it also resonates with your audience. But eventually, it's evergreen. And it can just sit there on your website or, you know, within a funnel. It could be a tripwire to your larger programs. So many passive revenue opportunities. And I know people that the money they've made from their course is worth more than their house. I mean, what an amazing investment in your knowledge to then turn it into something that truly helps people. You know, this passive revenue stream, and I'm not, you know, I'm no bullshitter. I'm not going to say you make a course and you'll fill it and you'll make $1 million, because you can make a course, but they will not come unless you market it. Right? You can't sell a secret. And many people I see go, oh, I've got this secret thing to, no, work, marketing. You're still going to need to do that. I'm sorry if you think you can create a course and you've got passive income like that and nothing else to do, you're in for a rude awakening, or you can keep chasing the shiny ball, or follow us through March when we do List Growth Made Easy. All right. So these are talking about the live semi-regularly. We've got some people locking in consistency. I swear I saw questions in here pop up. I need the team to be watching so I don't have to read back through. We normally do that and have a document that they write everything in. Monday, Wednesday. Okay, here's one. What platform do you recommend to go live on? Wherever you want to, if it's going to make a difference. But what I do is I go on all the places. So there's a piece of software that you can use. I'll get Sarah, if you can go and find the link for Restream in links in Asana for me, please, and we'll put it in the chat for you. Restream. So what Restream allows you to do is go live on LinkedIn. You've got to apply to be able to go live on LinkedIn. I still haven't been able to get OmniSAM, but the Sally Sparks Cousins LinkedIn page. Facebook. So I go live on 2 different Facebook pages. So I go live on the OmniSAM one and also the Sally Sparks Cousins one. You can do Instagram, but we had a huge issue with Instagram. As you all know, I lost everything. Also YouTube, and we go live on a couple of different channels on YouTube as well. So you can do that. And the cool thing with Restream as well is you can install it on your phone and it will still go live to all the places. So if you're worried, you know, I've got to have, you know, I can't do it because I've got to be at a computer. No, you can, because I did another crazy live. I went live on the hour, every hour for 24 hours. It's something I used to do a couple of times a year. And, you know, when it gets to certain times of the night, I don't want to be at my computer. So I used Restream. But that being said, wherever you go live, I would recommend that you also save it to your phone after you're live, or make sure you can download it. Because also the purpose of your weekly live isn't just to do the live. We can repurpose that content to many different things. So what I do here with the Strategy with Sally Live every Tuesday at 9, it gets chopped up into shorts, reels, it gets re-uploaded into YouTube as an edited video with all extra things. It gets repurposed to my podcast. Now, you don't need to have to do all those things yet. Just go live. I don't care where. Honestly, just do it. It's the practice of that consistency that everybody knows at this time, every week, I have to do a live. You have to do a live. Your family will learn. It's part of business. I cannot put food on the table without this one thing I have to do for my business. It just becomes normal. Also, if you're not going to use Restream, just pick the one that you use the most that has the best audience. Let me post photos of them on social. What time on the 28th? We answered that, 6 a.m. Melbourne time. GSD, it's GSD, D, not T. It's get shit done, if that helps. Okay, so John set this up. If it's not working, she sorted it. Oh, good. Jenny said Chloe doesn't talk to you anymore. Okay, what happens with any chat conversation in ChatGPT is eventually it gets so full it just stops working. This is no matter whether you use Chloe or somebody else, that chat thread will eventually just stop working. Happens. This is why I recommended starting different chats for different purposes and naming the purpose of the chat. But eventually it will still stop working. It's just what happens with GPT, right? Eventually it gets so full that you have to start a new thread anyway. But don't forget, there's still a larger memory in all of your GPTs. So if you've been educating it, and this is why I only use my business one for business, is because it's also remembering things in the background. If you ask it, does it remember things for life? The way it words it, that it remembers, and I can't remember the exact word, but the conversation, it makes it sound like it's not forever, but it must be, because sometimes I've asked it questions that I've told it a long time ago and it still remembers like what my client's interests are, right? Go to GPTs. Yes. So how do you get to Chloe? There we go. Sarah's just said, someone asked, how do you get to Chloe? So if you go into OpenAI and on the left-hand menu, you'll see a word that says Explore GPTs. Click on that and then search for OmniSAM. And you'll see Mira and Chloe. I think Mira needs an update. And Chloe might be getting really close to an update because now there's a new version that I might need to move her into so she's just a little bit more smarter. Yes, Veronica, totally go catch the replay. Yes, that's it, Jackie. Stop, hold and smile is a takeaway for Veronica. Yes, makes editing so much easier. And what I also do, because I know this is for a podcast, if there's something in this podcast I specifically need my podcast manager to know, you might even hear me on a live stream talk directly to Ma Like if I do a voiceover for her, actually she sent me a whole list of voiceovers I have to do. I will call her by name because she searches the video. So that's something else we do. Yeah, so hopefully, Jenny, that fixed that problem, like you understand why she's stopped talking to you. Oh, there we go. So that's the Restream link. So go to restream.io/join/Sally Sparkle and you will get yourself. So thank you, Joyce has told me on the live stream the audio is bad. This happened last week. There's something different about my audio because I moved my desk in the house when we had all those hot days. So I might have to re-upload a better quality audio if this one's better. But on the live stream, it's rubbish. I have to figure that out. Thank you, Joyce. Awesome. All right. And it looks like Bridget's worked out the time for 2 p.m. EST, 4 GSD. And it goes for 6 hours. There we go. All right. I'm going dark. Everybody that is here that is an elite, we will be moving back to the VOZ. So elites, pay attention. We are moving back to the VOZ for more Q&A time that you might need help with in regards to any strategies at all. All right, guys, have a fabulous week. Never let anyone dull your sparkle. And let me find my outro scene for the course creation. This one. We will see you tomorrow, demo day, I think. See you then. Bye.
You've been hiding in the shadows way too long. You always thought that you were weak, but babe, you're wrong. Yeah, you better step into the light, just give it a try. Think that it's time you let that spark out. You've been hiding in the shadows way too long. And who cares if you might mess it up? You're stronger than the others think. And who cares if you might mess it up? Go ahead and shine, darling. Go ahead and shine, my dear. 'Cause who cares if you might mess it up? Just shine. You shouldn't doubt yourself, 'cause you're a work of art. You should know that you are perfect with those flaws. Yeah, you better step into the light, just give it a try. Know that it's time you let that spark out. You've been hiding in the shadows way too long.